I'd like to introduce Jenna Lombardo, who recently just got out of the Marine Corps, what, about a year ago?
Yes.
What'd you do when you were in the Marines?
I spent 8 years in the Marine Corps. I started off initially as a convoy operator, so I had the unique opportunity to attach with infantry units and reconnaissance and conduct night raids. I also did resupply missions and rebuilt forward operating bases as well. After that, I moved into analytical intelligence, where I conducted Iraqi women's engagement missions. I was also, during that tenure, attached to infantry units as a lioness, which the role is to conduct tactical questioning and tactical searches during patrols and at traffic control checkpoints. Was awarded combat meritoriously to sergeant. I moved into CONUS, which is back at my original unit back at home, Camp Pendleton, and I moved into more operational planning, strategic planning, negotiation, resource allocation, and so from that point I developed a strong desire to help other people find their independence, because that was quite so the mission when I was conducting Iraqi women's engagement missions, helping them gain the courage to become independent. And so through that desire, I tried to mold Marines and mentor them to be successful, and I left the Marine Corps in order to impact more people. So through those experiences, I eventually found Goodwill Industries of Orange County.
Did you approach Goodwill?
We found each other.
Ah, very good.
Yes, Goodwill is developing an initiative called Enduring Independence, and we're revaluing veterans, but we're revaluing veterans through a different and innovative way. We're specifically engaging the business leaders within Orange County. And so the focus is creating the conditions where business leaders understand that hiring a young veteran is a good business decision, not a moral or patriotic obligation.
Let's talk about why veterans are such good employees.
Veterans, military professionals, have incredible advantages over people who have not served in military experience. We have, it goes back to the basics, our values, our judgment, our decisiveness, discipline, integrity, tact. The list goes on and on. There are so many great advantages to hiring veterans. It's helping them understand those skills that they have that are the basics of the moral compass, and being able to articulate that to an employer.
So your best bet is to hire a vet.
Mm-hmm.
I live that creed. We don't have enough decent, well-paying jobs for our veteran community, and that's what we're all trying to figure out how do we pay back
mm-hmm.
to this generation of veterans that sacrificed so much for us. So what would you say to a veteran who needed your services, who's transitioning out of the military? They don't know where to turn, and they're from Orange County.
I think it's very important to develop a personal brand, and that's part of what we focus on throughout our program. There are different components to the program. While I do specifically focus on the employer and create those conditions where we're outside in versus inside out. However, the veterans still need services, and I'm about creating proactive services. And we have 3 elements, which is wellness, to make sure that the mind, body, and spirit of the young man or woman is healthy. Independence, which is focused on financial independence and helping them overcome financial barriers to secure an independent future. And then, of course, preparation, which focuses on the personal branding and developing the skills necessary and articulating the skills to the employer and really landing the job or career.
What happens if during the first part the veteran has issues, health issues?
So many community partnerships that we utilize in order to make sure that those needs are met. We're never going to turn anyone away. We welcome everyone, and we want to ensure the best possible success for the participant.
We're at a Women Veterans Leadership Conference, and the whole idea is not just this youngest generation of veterans, it's actually all veterans.
Yes.
It's empowerment.
Yes.
And that's what you're doing. And it's how do we outreach and make it better for our veterans? And you're a great example. Goodwill's a great example of what they're doing. Because the whole idea is getting people involved. Now, are you a member of any veteran service organization?
I'm a member of the Veteran Advisory Council in Orange County.
Okay, very
I'm
good.
a member of the Orange County Collaborative. I think that we'll all be more effective if we work together, and we'll be able to better serve our clients.
And that's really the key. I mean, that's the whole point of our conference here in San Diego, is to network with each other, introduce ourselves to each other, and say, okay, I want to help you. How can you help me? How do we make it? And when I say that, I mean, how do we make it better for veterans? So what programs are in place at the Goodwill for women veterans?
Enduring independence.
Okay.
We have a specific focus on women as well. And, it's interesting because so many people say they can't find the women veterans, and there's issues or challenges, I'll say challenges, that we have in them acknowledging that they're a veteran. And I think that maybe we've been going about it in the wrong direction. I think we're looking in the wrong places. They're out there. Perhaps they don't know that they're a veteran, but I think that we need to keep our focus on the needs of the woman and the needs of a mother, perhaps. And we can still, acknowledge them and tell them what is available to them as veterans, but I think we need to focus on the needs of the woman and the needs of the mother first.
That's very good, because unfortunately the fastest population in the homelessness arena is single women veterans with children, and that's a huge problem.
And I want to revalue women too. I mean, I think that everyone wants to be successful, but I think that some women undervalue themselves, and it's important to find your own successes and acknowledge your own successes. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be the next CEO and have the corner office. It could be that you're successful as being a mother. I mean, it's all about what success means to you personally. So I help people with that as well, finding their own success. And I really I focus on creating women leaders outside of the military, but also I think it's important to retain women leaders inside of the military.
So when women get into levels in business, the idea is to help other women achieve the same goal.
Correct.
So that's what it's all about. That's what the conference is about, creating leaders, empowering women, and it's wonderful that you're doing that through the Goodwill. So what are your goals ultimately, personally, for yourself?
Well, to reach as many veterans as possible and provide them with opportunities. I want to help them understand their value and articulate their skill set to other people, because they do have significant advantages over people who don't have military experience.
Discipline, team players, reliability, dependability. Doesn't get better than that. So, any closing comments you'd like to make?
I think if I could tell, veterans as they transition out, to make sure that they adequately prepare and network with other professionals, because that's the key to finding success.
Because really, don't waste the time. Don't waste the time after you get out of the military, waiting 2 or 3 or 5 years or 10 years, whatever, getting your benefits. Now is the time.
There's a lot of resources out there. You just have to get connected.
And if they don't know about it, wonderful technology, internet and all that, there's just so much. See what they don't know? There's so many people and agencies that genuinely want to help you.
What we're doing with Enduring Independence is building a program that's proactive instead of reactive. I believe there's a specific window of opportunity to reach these young veterans, and that's 6 months prior to transition into 6 months after their transition out. That's our golden window of opportunity, because they're seeking out mentorship, they're seeking out direction, and they are not yet isolated. So they don't resurface until there's significant barriers to employment, and then you're getting into the reactive services. So if finding a mentor and making sure that you have an adequate support system is very important for the success of your own future.
And there it is. That's it. Outreaching to women veterans, empowering. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.